On a quiet morning on the coast of Galicia, Sam, a man in his 50s, stood on a hill overlooking the Atlantic Sea, contemplating the houses of his small village to which he had returned after a long absence. The village was simple, its old houses covered with red bricks, and its streets narrow, but it carried within it a long history and deep roots in Sam's heart. After years of living in Madrid, where bright lights and fast-paced life filled his day, Sam returned to his village in Galicia to search for his lost identity. The city that had inhabited his heart for years could not satisfy his soul. Although he had achieved professional success and was able to make money, he felt alienated from himself, and he needed to return to his roots to rediscover himself. When he first set foot in the village decades ago, he met his childhood friend, Manuel. They sat together in one of the small cafes in the village square. The square was full of people chatting about their daily lives, amid the sounds of children playing and the sea breeze that carried the smell of salt. Manuel asked Sam, "Have you found your passion? Did you find the success you were looking for?" Sam replied after thinking, "Work in silence, celebrate in secret, people like to spoil things." This was his wisdom learned in Madrid. Success in the city was accompanied by a lot of envy and competition. But here in Galicia, it was different. Success here was found in simplicity, in connection with the land, family, and roots. Life in the village was completely different. The local economy was largely based on agriculture and fishing. Living was not luxurious, but it was sufficient. People lived according to what they earned, and there was a spirit of solidarity among the villagers. If someone got sick, the whole village would come together to help him. If someone needed help with the harvest, everyone would come and work together. But returning was not easy for Sam. He found himself a stranger in a place he once thought was his home. It was difficult to communicate with some of his family members who had stayed in the village all their lives. They had old customs and traditions that were different from those Sam was used to in the city. He had to adapt to a slower, simpler lifestyle, and sometimes he felt like he didn't belong here or there. There were moments of doubt when Sam wondered if his return was the right decision. But as the days went by, he began to find comfort in the small things he did in the morning, like walking through the fields or going to the weekly market to talk to the local farmers. These moments brought him back to his roots. One day, while working on a small plot of land behind his old house, his Aunt Maria, an elderly woman who had kept the family tradition, came and sat next to him. They talked about the past and the present, about their family and what they had lost over the years. "You may have lived in the city," she said, "but your soul always returns here, to this place." Sam began to feel an inner peace. He realized that success didn't have to be achieved in money or fame, but could be found in those quiet moments that a person spends with himself and his family. Difficulties were part of his journey, whether in the city or in the village, but what made him feel satisfied was returning to himself, to his cultural roots, and trying to understand his true identity. One evening, Sam sat on the balcony of his house, overlooking the sea, and watched the sunset creep behind the horizon. He finally felt that he had found what he had been searching for all those years: inner peace and belonging, despite all the difficulties he had been through.